It is Ryan from G&B, and today we're going to take a look at the LSit and the difference between performing that on the rings, the T-bar, and on the floor. Alright, first we're going to take a look at the LSit on the rings. Now, to be honest, really, the only difference between performing the LSit on the ground, on the parallettes, and on the rings is your hands. The rings are obviously going to allow us some options when we're performing the LSit. I'm going to cover those right now. So for the LSit, the very, very basic position of the hands would be a neutral grip position. This is the position here. I'll show you the LSit in just a second when doing it. So once you have that down where your arms are close to your body, you're keeping your thumbs pointed towards each other, is then working on turning the rings out. So a rings turned out LSit. Those are really the options. You don't want to really do this when you're performing an LSit. Either have your hands facing this way, where your palms are facing each other, or work on having the rings turned out. So showing you here, this position, or this position. Those are the two examples that you'd use for the LSit on the rings. Now, when performing the LSit on the ground, there's actually quite a few options that we can use to do this. The standard option would be to have our fingers facing forward, locking out the arms, and then getting right into the LSit. You can also take your arms out to the side and even turn your fingers back. However, you're going to have to lean back just a little bit. Typically, having your fingers back is something that you would want to work on if you're focusing on the V-sit or working up into the mana. Now, a couple of other options that you can use on the ground is a fist. You can also do on top of your fingers. Why would you want to do them on top of your fingers? Well, this actually lifts you higher up off of the ground, so that when you start working with your LSit and going into a press to a handstand, it's going to allow your feet to travel through, back and through a lot easier. So with the fingers on the ground, holding here. So obviously with the floor, you have a lot more options. And when we start working with P-bars, our options for the V-sit in regards to our hand placement are obviously limited. If you keep your parallettes shoulder width apart, keeping them straight, there's only really one position of your hands. That is this position. Your thumbs will be on the inside, your palms will be facing each other, and from here, you'll pop into an LSit. However, if you would like to, you can open up your P-bars so that they're at an angle. Is actually similar to the rings turned out position that showed you earlier. Okay, so that's really the difference of hand placement when performing the LSit. So when you're on rings, palms facing each other or rings turned out. On floor, fingers forward, fingers to the side, fingers in the back if you want to work toward the V-sit or the mana. You can also perform on your fingertips, even making fists. Parallettes though, there's really only one option, and that is the neutral position. So, give these a try, figure out what works for you. And by the way, if you are going to be working with your fingers on the ground, I really suggest that you make sure that you have the finger strength first. Good option would be to check out our wrist prep video that we have on YouTube.